Hi. Oh my goodness. I'm
Hi.
so happy to be talking to you. Thank you
I'm
so
so
much for
excited to talk to you.
taking the time today. I know Kare's so appreciative of everything that you do, and I'm so appreciative of you lifting up the podcast. So thanks.
No worries. And I'm excited to hear all about it. And yeah, I know you've been with Care for a long time. And so this is an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, it's been amazing.
Okay, wait. So I started to listen to the first episode, and you do such a good job of hosting, but I want to hear more about it when it came to be, because I know you've been with Care for like 10 years. So was this
Yeah,
an idea you pitched to them, they came to you about?
I did, in fact. And thank you for listening. This all came about during COVID. I felt so alone and disconnected and kept finding places to turn for sources of hope and inspiration and connection, and kept turning back to CARE's work and these stories of women who have made lasting transformational change for themselves, for their families, their communities. And I thought,
Yeah.
I bet other people need to hear these stories too. We should share these stories. And it
Yeah.
just took us a couple of years to figure out how to do that because I've never made a podcast before. And when you're speaking to people around the globe, there are technical issues and getting audiovisual packages around the world and finding translators that are appropriate both in terms of gender and in terms of culture, and making sure you're not putting words in someone's mouth, because it's most
Yeah.
fundamental to lift up lived experience, to let these women tell their own stories. And it's just wound up being the most wonderful project I've ever gotten to be a part of. I'm so proud of it and so humbled to get to help these women be heard.
Yeah. I mean, it's such a great idea, but also I didn't even think about it when I was listening to it, the amount of detail and work that goes into making sure that the conversations can actually be had. And then some of the stories are pretty recent, like the first episode that you have, it was 2022 that she was affected. So some of these stories are not like 10 years ago where these women have had the time to build their lives back up and overcome. Some of it's very quick. um
And CARE is always like that. They're responding to crises globally, but there's also just the response to, um, so many places in the world, women don't have access to the marketplace.
yeah.
It was 1974 in America when a woman could open a bank
Yeah.
account, and maybe 1983 when she could get a business loan for herself. But there's still so many places women just don't have that access. So programs like Village Savings and Loan help people honestly invest in themselves. It's not charity, it's not a handout. It's just
Right.
figuring out how to be of service to help people reach their maximum potential. It's just
Yeah.
all the amazing things we can do when we care. How did you get involved with CARE?
How did I get involved with care? I grew up, my dad's a pastor, so I kind of grew up in the space of like it's just the way our family is. Like you just help people. Like if
Yeah.
you have, you help, and even if you don't have. And um entering Hollywood is an interesting space because there are those people for sure, but then there's also not. And so I think I got to a point where I just was like, outside of telling stories that are important, what are the act I guess I wanted to cut to the chase of important stories. And so I was like, well, what am I not doing that I could be doing? And a friend of mine was working with Quick Care and she introduced me to Care. And I think I've been with them for like 5 or 6 years now, on and off. And yeah, I've gotten to go to Washington with them and stuff. And so I'm a little bit newer as far as hands-on work goes, but I know that you've been able to travel and actually visit a lot of these people. Have you gotten to meet any of the women that you've interviewed?
We did all the interviews virtually by
Okay.
Zoom and by Riverside, actually. And that was astonishing enough. Living in the 21st century is like magic to a little 1970s
Yeah.
child that I am. So that was incredible. But I did get to go to Rwanda with CARE. And
Okay.
like you, I've gotten to go to DC. How was your DC trip? I think they do such a phenomenal job of
Do.
that. Their advocacy weekends for anybody who's watching this,
Yeah.
you take the first day to be educated about
Yeah.
what you're going to do, who you're going to target, why what you're talking about with your representative is meaningful to them, what their life's connection is to this topic, because we all know that policy doesn't change because of numbers. Policy
Yeah.
changes because of stories and truths and people's
Yeah.
lived experience. So, and then the second day, you hit the hill, you wear comfortable shoes, and you just go and boogie and talk to people. How was your
I made that
experience?
mistake. I made that mistake. I was not wearing comfortable shoes. I was trying to look all professional
Oh,
and walk in.
Melissa.
Halfway through the day, I'm like, there was one, I remember there was a moment, there was one chair in the hallway, and everyone had been, our feet were all sore. And I was like, can I please sit down? I'm so sorry to ask this, but like, I think my feet are bleeding. But so note for next time, don't wear any kind of heel. But it was interesting. It was fascinating. I think I walked into it going, I'm so ill-equipped to speak to these people, because I do care, no pun intended, but I don't like, I'm not a politician. I
Yeah.
don't, this isn't my world. But they do a good job of preparing you to have those conversations. And then it's interesting to have gone through it one time around, being like, okay, that wasn't so scary going
No.
into the rooms and talking to people. I might not be the most knowledgeable person in the room, but I do have a voice and I do know what I'm talking about. And I do have the ability to, converse with people about this topic. So I'm actually excited to go back again and do it again.
I know
Um,
it's so remarkable to me because I grew up thinking that democracy was something other people did, like something that
yeah,
happened over there by professionals who know all this, know all the
for
things,
sure.
and it isn't. It just relies on us speaking up
Yeah,
about what we care about, and that's how real change is made. And
yeah,
that was really eye-opening, and I don't know, it made it all so dear to me and precious, that it
yeah,
was something that is a living, breathing thing. Uh, um, that depends on all of us to show up
yeah,
for it. We have to care like it's a plant, like we have to water the plant and give the plant light and, maybe sing to the plant once in a while. Like we
yeah.
really have to take care of it for it to take care of us. And that made it all feel like home in a way that it used to feel really separate.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's like the important part of all of this work, not just the podcasts or going to Washington or traveling overseas or helping the clients, talking about their own experiences. It's it's the reciprocation. It's the like ability to go, you're safe, you got this
Mm.
on and people thrive in those environments. And so yeah, like I feel like that's a good time for a phone call. I feel like, the same way people from care kind of led me through the ropes, and now I feel better and more empowered. It's the same work for everything here, which is
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah,
Yeah.
so how many episodes are you doing? How many people do you get to speak to?
We did 6 episodes. So we actually had
Okay.
8 conversations, but different technical reasons and different things allowed us to really make 6 great episodes. And that was absolutely a dream come true. Our first was talking with Daria in Ukraine. We spoke in Tanzania to Lillian, who is our only care ambassador, like a person who really works for care. And we
Mhm.
spoke with her. Next week, well, I believe we meet Bhagwati in Nepal. We have Teresa in Honduras. We have Ben in Vietnam. And no, next week is Raida in Jordan. Raida is a plumber in Jordan, which is astonishing because um, uh, educational access is very equal in Jordan as you're growing up. Men and women can attain the same educational levels, but only about a fifth of the women are, because of social norms, allowed to enter the workforce. And
Oh,
because of
interesting.
those same social norms, a male plumber coming into a home when only the woman is there is not possible.
Oh,
So
okay. So then
the
she has the
toilet,
opportunity.
the toilet, which is a fundamental part of a home, has to go unattended till the men can do the men thing.
Uh,
But she always wanted to fix things, and she saw this
yeah.
avenue that was underrepresented, and uh, she saw that she could be a solution. And now it's sort of changed everything. And that, you can't be it if you can't
Yeah.
see it. So she's opened this whole new avenue of possibility and Zarka Jordan. So that's who we meet next week.
And has she kind of allowed other women to do the same in her footsteps then?
She has trained other women. She didn't know of any women that were doing it when she trained. She trained with a man,
Yeah.
and different licensing issues have made it hard. Like sometimes her family gets help from the state, but if she's working, that's not possible. And then it's it's become a complicated milieu. So it comes and goes with having other women on her team, getting to train other women. It iterates differently because the real world is complicated, but that is
Yeah.
always her goal and always her hope. And I really do believe that, again, just by her existence, things are changing.
Yeah, and to have the ability to go, this has not been done, and I'm gonna try to do it. That's such a scary thing,
Yeah.
and I think it's so empowering for me to even hear just that someone took a chance of stepping outside the norms. And I think it's so easy to stay in the norms and stay comfortable. And, we're, as humans, we're taught to just stay safe, stay in a safe bubble, do what you're expected to do, stay where you're expected to stay.
Stay in
And
your
like,
lane.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she went, no, I want more and I want different, or I want to show that other things are possible. And
Mm.
yeah, it's,
Or I just listen to my heart and I try and honor why I'm here. We all know why we're here. We all know what
yeah,
our soul's mission is on this time around the rock. And it just took a little bit. The investment was a grant from CARE to buy literally just a few tools. So,
hmm, that's interesting. That's so cool.
yeah,
And do you
yeah.
plan on doing more episodes, or are you six and done?
I hope we do. We really this was a proof of concept enterprise, this first
Yeah,
outing, and we wondered if anyone else would be touched and moved by these stories. We could never have imagined they would land at a time when talking about helping each other was in any way controversial, much less so important.
yeah,
To remind each other of the difference we can make in each other's lives so easily.
yeah.
And so, yes, I very much hope we get to do more.